Heyo everybody, Haku here with my live reaction or read through for Chainsaw Man chapters 52 onward. Don't know exactly how many we'll do. Again, unless they're kind of long, I'll try to shoot for 5 like I did last week because 5 really wasn't that bad. And that'll kind of make us catch up quicker, but honestly I'm not really looking to catch up to a lot of the series I'm covering because then I have to wait a week to get to one chapter, which is going to be rough. I'm very excited. We ended off the stuff with, I thought we were already at the end of that and we were going to get the epilogue kind of stuff with the Chainsaw versus Bomb kind of arc, so to speak. And actually, we did that last week. We finished that out, the actual main action of it. And so it feels like we're going into an epilogue for that, maybe transitioning into whatever the next arc or whatever is going to be. And so we ended with Denji leaving the apartment, presumably going to see if Reise's actually going to show up at the cafe or whatever. I doubt it. So we're gonna see what happens. Let's just get into reading chapter 52. I don't think there's too much to discuss. Again, Chainsaw Man is a jump property. I can't show it on screen. Some people do. Most get in trouble, but honestly, I don't know how some people don't. Some people really gamble with this stuff. But we're on the same volume, so I have the same volume cover up here. Let's just start the chapter. This one is chapter 52, Lost Love, Flower, Chainsaw, and we just see, man, all kinds of corpse mess. I wonder if those are a bunch of people corpses, because there's probably some, or if that's all just chunks of the Typhoon Devil. Because at first I thought it was a bunch of corpses, but it might be chunks of the Typhoon Devil, actually. We have the police, and then Kishibe, I think was his name, and Aki. There's a fairy tale Soviet mothers tell their kids when they scold them. They tell them there's a secret room in the army's ammunition storage filled with kids who don't have parents. The kids in there have no freedom. They can't even go outside. They're treated like objects and their bodies are used in experiments until they die. It was supposed to only be a fairy tale until a newspaper ran a story on how that secret room really existed. An American journalist tracked down the truth. For a while it was the talk of the town. They even published photos of the kids who were in there. But it wasn't long until no one was talking about it anymore. The girl who tricked Denji is one of those kids from that room. So we're getting into, because we know the Soviet Union's still a thing in Chainsaw Man, so we're actually getting into Soviet meddling and spies and their network all over the world. Soldiers the Soviets created to serve their government. And of course, with the way that they were talking about America maybe trying to create devil weapons, and then, you know, Japan kind of in a way tasking Makima to, you know, kind of do the same in a way, and then, or at least bringing up the idea there, and then also now getting into, obviously the Soviets would be doing it. They're already really doing it. So very interesting. The soldiers the Soviets created to serve their government. Guinea pigs, you'd call them. The 1108 Tsubasa Shinkansen bound for Yamagata will depart momentarily. And then we see the train going on. Okay, Reise still traveling. Oh, she goes to the place actually. And the mice are there. The mice form up though into a mound. She grabs onto the pin. Me too. I like the country mouse too. And it's actually Makima, who again everybody brings up is terrifying. So she just controls all these rats. Okay, we have the confrontation between the two of them. So the country mouse, let me think about that for a second. Interesting that she would say that, because the theme, I've said, they keep bringing it up since the very beginning of the series. The theme of the country mouse is very important to the series. So the country mouse versus the city mouse is, I've said this in a video before, but just to recap in case anyone's new, in case anybody's wondering. But again, if you're reading Chainsaw Man, I think a lot of people probably have already known this or figured this out. The country mouse was taken by the city mouse to come hang out in the city for a bit. And the thing is, they're like, wow, the food here is great. Everything's amazing. There's so much fun, so much to see. But they're constantly almost killed by cats because they're mice in the city. And so the country mouse decides, this is too much danger. Even if I don't get all the food, even if I don't get the excitement, even if I just have to live a humble, normal life, I'll live it in safety out in the country. And this is something that we see. All of the bad things that happen to the characters in Chainsaw Man happen because they want something, happen because they're chasing something. All of the bad things that happen to Aki happen not because he just goes off and lives his life, but because he tries to pursue the gun devil and goes after revenge. Denji mentions it himself. He thinks, should I have been happy just living the life of a dog with Pochta? But then he thinks every time he wants something more, these bad things happen to him. So it's been a big overarching theme of, do you live in safety and like a humble life with nothing? Or do you chase the things you want to chase, even though chasing the things you want to chase are going to tear you apart? And so it's weird to have Makima as a character who is basically the opposite of what Denji and Aki have been, who Denji and Aki are both chasing these things, even though chasing these things is harming them and the people around them. But she is saying she prefers the country mouse. And again, it becomes a bit blurred, because honestly what Denji's chasing is pretty tame, pretty normal, and the life he was living before was a lot more extreme, a lot less than humble, so to speak. But I think a big part of the theme is, if you want something, you have to suffer for it. If you want something, you have to sacrifice for it. And I think that's kind of what they're getting at with the Denji thing by not making his life too easy. But it's interesting to see somebody saying kind of the opposite here. Just living in safety, even if it means being denied what you want. My friend has this farm out in the country. Every fall, I go visit and give them a little help with their work. Rats hide in the soil in the fields. They'll damage the crops. So before the ground is covered in snow, you have to exterminate them. You do it by digging into the soil and having dogs catch and kill them. And I couldn't tell you why, but I find watching that to be very calming. And then her arm is taken completely off before she can pull the pin, and it falls to the ground. But she also has something behind her back hidden. That's why I like the country mouse. So it isn't even about the philosophical nature, necessarily. I mean, there probably is some deeper stuff there to analyze, but I haven't necessarily been through enough to properly analyze it. But what took her arm off, I thought was just some crazy stab, but it's actually some sort of javelin. And she moves to behind Makima and gets pierced by another spear this time. And it's the Angel Devil. That wasn't what I was expecting necessarily. And she reaches across for the pin, but her hand is taken. And then, really, why didn't I kill you the first time we met? Denji, truth is, I've never gone to school either. She's left there. Again, because of her status, it makes you wonder if she's dead or not. Probably not, though, because you think she might be worth more to Makima alive than dead. So, she's probably not dead yet. I told you to come with Aki. You didn't want to make Aki kill a girl. You're kind. I'm an angel after all. And then Angel Devil sees one of the rats. Tell me, is the city a good place? We have Denji with a packed bag and a bouquet of flowers. And honestly, though I would think she is worth more alive than dead to Makima, there is a chance she could have been killed. But again, probably not if you could just keep her alive. But I think the motivation here isn't just to capture a dangerous person. I think it's because Reize really was actually going to go meet with Denji, and we don't know where things would have gone from there. Do they run away together? Does she try to kill him again? But no matter which way things go, Makima doesn't want that for Denji, because then Denji becomes harder to manipulate. Denji becomes harder to manipulate if he has Reze reciprocate his feelings, if they try to run away together, or even if they stay somehow, or even if she tries to kill him again, it makes him harder to manipulate. Okay, so that might be the reason why I could see her being killed rather than just captured. But capture still does make more sense. Denji, I need to close now, says the shopkeeper. Face it, she was out of your league. You lived in separate worlds. You'll meet a girl who's right for you eventually. He just has a sour face and then goes forlorn again. Blushes at the door creaking open. Power! She steps in. I'm back. I followed your scent here. What a puny place. Gah! What's with these flowers? These should suit me perfectly. Gimme! She takes them and blushes. Hey, don't eat them. Those are mine. Thief! And then Chainsaw Man. We have just the defeated Pochita to end it out. And I think that may be the end of the volume. Either way, though, I don't think so, because if it were the end, I probably would have gone ahead and used the next volume's cover. I looked at it beforehand, which chapters went to which volumes. But either way, let's go on to chapter 53, I guess. And I don't actually know if we'll do a full 5, because that was kind of a hefty one. There was, I guess because it's not action, where we're just blowing through it. And Chainsaw Man also does typically tell a lot of its story through the visuals, but that was a very hefty one. That was a pretty dense one with character stuff. There was a lot going on there. But either way, let's go to chapter 53 for now. Okay. Yeah, and it is actually, it's starting a new volume. This is starting volume 7, okay. So story and art. And then we've got this panel, or the cover, was one of the endings did this, right? Was it ending 3 maybe? They did this with the entrails wrapping his arms as cuffs. Okay. And it's also exciting given that a lot of these characters don't look familiar. Okay, Chainsaw Man 7. Okay, just gonna skim through this little opening stuff for the volume. Okay, In a Dream, and we have this frontispiece. Alright. We have the quick character recap stuff. So Violence Fiend doesn't have a name here yet, just Violence Fiend still. And same with Angel Devil, just being Angel Devil. Okay. Just skimming over the recap stuff. Alright. And then we have this nice full page frontispiece for chapter 53, In a Dream, of young Denji at that doorway. Okay, we're actually starting this chapter with this. Okay. So we have a little bit of a jump from the end of last chapter. Don't open it. And he wakes up to Meowie. Meowie, I had another crappy dream. Meowie, you traitor. Not only did you sleep with Denji while I was gone, you sleep with him even now that I'm back. Unfaithfulness is one of humanity's most foolish traits. Coffee reminds me of Reze. My heart was stolen away by Reze. I might never feel joy or sadness again for the rest of my life. The drama. Since I've been busy for a while, I'm going to take some paid time off and visit Enoshima. Do you want to go, or do you three want to go with me? Says Makima. Woohoo! And he immediately just feels emotion. We'll go. Power's relationship to Makima from the start has been very interesting. I have an urgent meeting that day. We still haven't chosen a day, Power. So yeah, she's trying to avoid her. I'll work with your schedules. Let me know what day you can take off. I haven't used any of my PTO, so any time works for me. And then, oh man, a trip with Makima. It's like a dream come true. This is going to go on my list of the top reasons I'm glad to be, or top 10 reasons I'm glad to be alive. And then we have men in suits shuffling in and going to speak with her. What's the ruckus? We have a problem. Is he an enemy or an ally? The terror of the Chainsaw Devil. And he's getting media'd? A chainsaw devil wearing the uniform of public safety devil hunter personnel is buzzing through devils that appear in town. We have testimony that this devil has protected women, but we've also heard from a man whose own car was thrown with him still inside. I'd been imposing media restrictions via public safety, but it failed this time. Looks like the damage was so great that we couldn't stop the TV networks. It's Denji fighting on a train. Being on TV feels good, doesn't it? And then they all look very upset. So that little bomb fulfilled her task. Huh? Because of this news report, the whole world now knows Denji's in Japan. Oh, everybody knows that Chainsaw's in Japan. And apparently, apparently Chainsaw, before he met up with Denji, was massively important. And again, I've said it makes logical sense. Chainsaws are naturally used in a lot of horror, plus there's just the idea of getting brutalized by a chainsaw. It is a naturally scary thing. I feel like naturally there should be very many more scary things. But yeah, chainsaws are typically very scary for, I think, a lot of laymen. So you end up with that being a powerful devil. But then it's like, there's so many questionable things, like a car devil, for example. And the authors probably specified this from time to time. Cars are both completely not scary for many people, because you're desensitized by being in them and around them all day, every day. But cars, as a concept, are also incredibly terrifying. You're a human being moving at a crazy amount of speed and a big chunk of metal, and statistically, they result in a whole hell of a lot of deaths. So it's like, logically, cars are terrifying, but there's also the perception that they aren't because we're just so used to them societally. So that's, interesting. So it just makes you wonder, and again, guns, I feel like most people are pretty terrified. Even if you like guns, the idea of getting shot is not exactly really fun, Because of this news report, the whole world now knows that Denji is in Japan. America and China will both want him, I'm sure. Those like Denji who aren't devils or fiends are incredibly valuable. Bomb was a Soviet assassin, right? Why would they deliberately increase their competition? They probably don't care who has their hands on Denji, as long as it's not me. So we're going to Enoshima, huh? Well, what is that, an island? As a matter of fact, my summer house is on Enoshima. Power. Denji, the trip is postponed. Huh? Call in Kusakabe and Tamaki from Miyagi Public Safety Devil Extermination Division 2, and Subaru from Kyoto Public Safety Devil Extermination Division 1. Understood. Also, Hide Hirofumi Yoshida from the civilian sector for 1 month. Understood. The trip's postponed? Woohoo! Denji, in the days ahead, assassins from countries all over the world will be coming to kill you. Consider yourself without freedom for the foreseeable future. And he's shocked. More distractions keep cropping up, but we'll be fighting the Gun Devil next year. Aki, I'm putting you on that operation too. So try not to die during this trouble. We need everyone's strength to kill the Gun Devil. And then we flash back to the Angel Devil. You probably know this, but devils don't die in the truest sense. Even if they die and turn to ash, as long as people fear their name, they'll come back to life in another form. Only, they don't revive in this world. They come back in hell. And then, I don't know, I love this world building. We're finally getting a little bit of answers. And then, I don't know if this is true or false. Devils who die in hell apparently come to this world. Devils have an endless cycle of death and rebirth. You don't know, but you're a devil. You don't remember? Do you remember your mother's womb? Okay, so maybe the previous Chainsaw Devil was crazy in hell or something, and then he gets reborn as poached into this world. So, it's like Angel Devil. You're reborn without memories whenever you die, but you're reborn in the next place when you do. So Gun Devil will always be back. He'll just come back in hell next and then come back in the human world after that, presumably. But again, we don't know 100%. So what are you getting at? Don't share the information I'm about to tell you with anyone. I love Angel Devil. Angel Devil's really trying to work with the main characters here. I asked the other Special Division Devils, and none of them remember hell. Only they do remember the last sound they heard before dying in hell. A sound? A sound. The strange thing is, everyone in the Special Division remembers the same sound. What kind of sound? I started Chainsaw's engine during that last battle. The broom sound he made. It was the same sound as that. So all of the Special Division devils were all killed by Chainsaw in hell. Okay, we're getting deeper into this world building. I love it. Seeing America now? Got a gig from the feds. It isn't a devil hunter job this time. I wonder if any of this, because what Reze said was in Russian but not translated, I wonder if any of this is originally in English, but for us is being translated. We'll probably be hunting a person. People hunting. Are we hunting hotties? Japan's all about the women, am I right? Big brothers, you're all about the women in any country we visit. We kill this Saw Man and bring him back to America, and they'll pay us $2 million. $2 mil? You sure you counted the zeros right? It's a dangerous job. We'll probably have to snatch him from public safety and police protection. The public can't find out we exist either. Again, if you've counted the zeros, I'm pretty sure 2 mil doesn't sound like enough. There's a chance we could die. We should turn this job down. A chance we could die. Us brothers, we don't die. Can you imagine the moment of my death? What about this idiot? And can you imagine your own death? The gun devil leveled our entire house and we didn't die. Even though Mom, Dad, and Grandma all died. Even when we got swallowed by a devil. Even when our place was on fire. Even when all 3 of us got food poisoning, we didn't die. Alright? We're immortal. Okay. So I wonder how legit that is and what their abilities might be. Okay, that's it for 53. Another kind of long one because we have some dense character stuff and dense world building stuff. Okay, there's a lot to think about, but I'm really enjoying this so far. It does make me curious if assassins are coming from all over the world. Where do we go from there? It does make me interested because, like I said in the volume cover, there were new characters I didn't recognize, so we could end up... We could end up with a lot of new characters. Either way, let's go to 54, and I might end it after that, depending on how long it is. Okay, on to Chapter 54, To Go to Enoshima. And we have some people hunting a fox, it seems like. Master, what's the point of this fox hunt? Tolka, do you feel like you took a life? Like I took a life? No, I only feel the vibration from the bowstring. I see. And then we have all this blood and carnage. That looks like more than just a bow shot. Tolka, do you feel like you took a life? Alright. I used to skin animals. Or maybe that's it after being skinned. I'm not sure from the art. I used to skin animals for pelts back home, so no, not especially. Tolka, do you feel like you took the foxes? No. I see. Tolka, this current job isn't a devil hunter job. It's to kill this 16-year-old boy. Well, sure, I can do that. Tolka, we're about to do what we did to this fox to a 16-year-old boy. And then he looks. Kill him, carve out his heart. Make that our job, our livelihood. Master, I can kill. The powers that be made a promise. Once this next job is over, you can stop being a devil hunter. You only have half a year left to live. I want you to live the rest of your life in peace. Tolka. And then we cut away to this crazy amount of signs here. And then someone making out. Oh, Quan Chi? I don't 100% know how Chinese works with pronunciation and everything. That was so good. Halloween, Halloween, Halloween. And they just repeat. You've got a job. Go to Japan and capture this Saw Man. Again, you know, Denji and those brothers are going to be pretty upset at the life that they're not living. What's my reward? This will be your most dangerous job so far. The general says we'll grant you any request to the best of our ability. Ladies, tell me what you want. Awesome. Donuts. I want 100 donuts. Blood. Halloween. And then the one is just motionless. Give my girls human rights and a basic education. We'll look into it, if you succeed. I hear Quan Chi will be coming from China as an assassin. Okay. So I wonder then, I was thinking that they were all individually fiends or devils. But given the way they all look, yeah, there's still the one with the horns, still the one with the weird thing on her head, so they probably are still fiends or devils. I was gonna say, but maybe since they're all stitched up and undead looking, maybe that's just his ability. Maybe his ability is maybe his ability is what's keeping them like is what's keeping them alive, and he is like a zombie maker. But now going back, the one with the cuffs on her hands asks for blood and has horns similar to power. So I was thinking maybe like Oni or something, like an Oni devil. But then again, it's also got cuffs, and the others don't. The one asking for donuts, the hair is like a mouth. So almost like a Kuchisaki Onna, right? Is that the term? But not really. And I don't know how that would work as a devil or fiend. The one saying Halloween, are they just straight up like a Halloween devil or something? Or a Halloween fiend? Or I guess they could be zombie. But then the other one looks like they could be zombie too, so I don't know. We'll look into it if you succeed. I hear Quan Chi will be coming from China as an assassin. In all likelihood, her fiend companions will come with her. Okay, so Quan Chi is a woman as well. I did not think so. Like at first I thought maybe, but then the one panel of them all laying on each other, they look fairly masculine. But either way, how shall we intercept them? I'm none too keen to approach that one. If the entirety of humanity came together and held a bare-knuckle fighting tournament, Quan Chi would take first place. At any rate, she'll be tricky. That is an odd statement. That is, the hints they drop you in Chainsaw Man are so interesting. I doubt she'll be the only big name paying us a visit either. It's no use taking precautions against Quan Chi. The one we need to watch out for is, and again, correct my pronunciation, please, Germany's Santa Claus. Alright. You think he'll come? I couldn't say. There are rumors he died of old age, but if he uses his devil on us, it's all over. Guess we should pray he's been called to the pearly gates. And then we see this castle. Is this Germany, since we were just talking about it? Christmas has come a little early. Okay, so that's their code. Who's getting the present? The Chainsaw Devil, who has Japan abuzz. Can you find him? What's the reward? What do you want? I want to adopt 4 good-looking children. Their gender doesn't matter. For what purpose? 3 to use for contracts, 1 for pleasure. Okay, so he's very fucked up. I'll arrange it. Okay, so again, the 1 for pleasure, extremely scary, but also the 3 for contracts is scary, not that he's just sacrificing innocent children, but also that if he does that before he goes after Denji, he's going to have like 3 probably really powerful contracts. Because like we've seen the powers you can get from sacrificing relatively minor things, but if you are sacrificing not relatively, but literal minors, if you're sacrificing actual children to a devil, I think that is probably the craziest contract you can probably get. I'll arrange it. And then we see Denji forlorn. Why does everyone want my heart? Just who is poached up to begin with? Why don't I get to go on a trip with Makima? Naki sits on him. I'm not your seat, dude. It's not like you'll have assassins after you for the rest of your life. If we deal with every assassin who comes for you this time, the other side will probably start to play the waiting game too. Then we can go on the trip. Makima never said the trip was cancelled. It's only postponed. What? That's all? That's easy then. Yeah, because of course they want the chainsaw, but if these other countries learn that it's not as simple as going after the chainsaw, even sending some of their best people, they're probably going to back off until a better opportunity. So if I just kill them all, it's Enoshima, here we come, huh? And then we end there, Chainsaw Man. And I think I may end the video here. It might be a little bit on the shorter end, but I've been recording a lot today. I've been recording a long time. Actually, screw it. Let's do one more. Just one more, chapter 55. Again, how long can it be? Okay, gonna be cutting this a little close with other things I have to do in life, but let's read chapter 55. So I might be a little expeditious in my reading. Chapter 55 is Let's Go. We start off with Denji and Power. I think it's okay to catch and eat those birds. If I were president, I'd allow it. I love Power so much. Oops, and he drops his rice ball. Ha, picks it back up and goes to eat. Unbelievable. Don't eat food that fell on the ground. Okay, we've got more people here. Got some new characters. The ground has hundreds of millions of bacteria, invisible to the human eye. Some of those bacteria could cause food poisoning for all you know. It's unsafe. Give it here, I'll throw it away. Hey man, I brought this rice ball. It's mine to do whatever I want with. Humans are so quick to steal. Such shameful creatures. Denji, I'll pay you back later. Just throw that thing away. You should listen to them. If you give yourself an upset stomach, it could interfere with our ability to guard you. And then he eats it quickly. I threw it away into my belly. I'm Kusakabe. Really? Kusakabe, where have I heard that name before? I'm thinking of another character from another series, I guess. I'm Kusakabe from Miyagi Public Safety, Devil Extermination Division 2. It's my pleasure to be working with you. I'm his buddy Tamaki. Nice to meet you. Yoshida. Let's get along, guys. They're experts in personal security. These three, Aki and Angel, plus 3 more agents from Kyoto, will be sticking close to you for a while. There are other people working on this behind the scenes, but you don't need to think about that. Man, this is a pretty big deal, isn't it? You don't know the half of it. Mr. Subaru, who's coming from Kyoto, is the one who trained Miyagi's Division 2. He's an incredibly busy man, so yes, it's a very big deal for him to spare time to be a bodyguard. Boy, as of today, I will be choosing you and your buddy's patrol routes, down to the alley. Am I understood? Yes, sir. Answer with, yes, sir. Try again. Come again, dude? I am your elder. You will answer me precisely and loudly. Whatever, sir. Not whatever, sir. Yes, sir. And then we see those other two from before. You know, all this fuss over the chainsaw... So I guess maybe these are the 3 from Kyoto. Over the chainsaw kid. But ain't nobody seen his human face, right? I'm thinking, can't we just keep this kid shut up at home, nice and quiet? Oh, you got a point there. Subaru, do you mind telling us why that is? 'Cause devils got keener noses than humans. It'd be tricky to hide them from folks with devil contracts. Okay. Alright, smoke break's over. Back on the road to Tokyo. We gonna have time to sightsee? Heck no. Kurose, Tendo, you've both met Makima, right? What's she like? Subaru, there's something we wanted to tell you about that. Huh? What? Well, what you waiting for? And then we have spike strips thrown out in front of them. And they go straight over it, popping their tires and crashing into a tree. How'd you crash the car, idiot? And then they're all set upon with guns firing. And it's the 3 brothers. But as much as they've been hyped up, it can't be... It feels like... Would the series just repeat the Makima situation from earlier? Because it seems a bit much to repeat that. But then on the other hand, it also feels like, would they actually kill them? Just like... Because they hyped them up. So it's like, would it make sense for them to actually just kill them off? Damn, the woman was fine. Too bad we killed her. Let me get a look. Oh, not my type. I like my women shorter than me. And then the 3rd guy is still just an anxiety-ridden mess. They're carrying the bodies out, and they put them in body bags. Aldo, it's the first time you've killed a person, right? How do you feel? It's a piece of cake. Piece of cake? And he throws up. Joey, how do you feel? Me? How do I feel? I feel like after you accidentally step on a kitten in the road. Bleh, stupid thing, I made a mess on my shoes, pretty much. So again, these two are fucked up, and the Aldo, the youngest one, seems to be a mess. And then the guy bursts out laughing. Oh? He's laughing. Oh, he changes his appearance. I was going to say, and then Tendo, I think it's his name, is back, but no, he changes his appearance. How do I look? Nice, like the real thing. Bro, talk a little for us. Or bro, talk a little for us. That Kurose man has an accent. Be careful about that. Well, fellas, let's go. Y'all, let's get. Okay. So, it was Kurose that's the guy. Isn't that more of an Osaka accent? In Kyoto it'd be, let's move, folks, or more like that. Kurose tries to tone down his accent in front of Tokyoites. With the people you're about to meet, use standard speech, but like you can't completely hide your roots. And it's interesting that this guy has so much information. I wonder if that's part of his ability. And then he messes with his throat. Well, y'all, let's go, shall we? Okay, very interesting. Because, again, it's going to lead to a lot of crazy stuff in the future with this whole arc, but it also makes me think, would they just kill off Kurose, Tendo, and Subaru after hyping them up? It seems weird that they would actually for real kill them off, but it also seems weird that they would fake out their deaths. So I am confused as to whether the deaths will stick or not, but we'll have to see where it goes. I'm going to end things here. I still have like 2 minutes, so I'm going to hurry up and stop recording. Thank you so much for watching. Like if you did like the video, comment down there, tell me what you thought of these chapters, my first thoughts and reaction. Subscribe for more Chainsaw Man, much more on the channel. Follow on Twitter if you want. If you want a link to the Discord server, it's free and open for anyone. If you'd like, yeah, I just said that. If you'd like to help support the channel, drop a super thanks down below if you want to. Or if you want One Piece videos a bit early, if you want to get a shout out at the end of every video, in addition to knowing that you're helping support the channel. I don't know if I'll also do Chainsaw Man like that when we catch up, but we've got a while to think about that. You could join down below to become a channel member. Go to patreon.com/Haku of the Tubes, or the link will be in the description to become a patron. Huge thank you to people who are patrons and members, like I said. Thank you to Chosen Regular Evan Holly, Magical Girls, Efranono and Abyss Knight, Cheriton Student, David Langstaff, and Folded Ghoul, Slayer, Candidates, SG and Sandseeder, and Pure Element, Pateo de Owl. I mentioned this in my other videos, I probably will for the rest of the week. Folded Ghoul uses a different name, their actual name, in the comments here on YouTube, so I put their username on Patreon here in the end screen, but if you want me to change that to what you go by in the comments, then just let me know. I just didn't know if you wanted that broadcast to everyone, so I didn't put it up here. I just went with the Patreon username. Just let me know what you want and I'll change it. Thank you so much everybody for watching though, and I'll see you all next time.